Hi and welcome. This time it's my turn to do the Geekend, and I hope the audio is with us this time. Praying, cross fingers crossed, first time. If you're lucky. With me are Samurai Sanosuke. Samurai, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
And of course, the almighty British Nerdnet. TeamBNN there?
That's all you're getting from me.
Okay, alright. Thursday night is the start of the World Cup in Russia, and tonight we are talking about football, and football only, nothing politics. Um, and guys, I'm just gonna quick question here. The game is gonna start with Soviet, with Russia against Saudi Arabia. Um, what do you think it's gonna be? It's gonna be an upset from the start, or
It's just a non-game, isn't it?
it's a non-game?
It's Russia are going to win that easily.
Well, they say Russia will win the game, but I think if Saudi Arabia try to perform to the best, they could try and pull off an upset against the host countries.
Well,
With the opening ceremony, how much that gets into people's heads.
cool. Well, it
know.
would be fun with an upset. First of all, what do you think it's about the World Cup that makes it so special? What is it? Because it's every 4 years, but it's a tournament like every other tournament, isn't it? Or is it just because there are so many viewers, there are so many spectators? What is it about it that
Because
makes
it's because we always bring it home. We're always going to be bringing the trophy home and the beer gardens. the fact that next Saturday there's 10, I think it's 10 hours worth of World Cup football. I think it starts at about 10 a.m. and it finishes at 10 p.m.
it's wild, the media coverage has been over the last couple of years. Let me just start out. 1930 was the first World Cup in Uruguay. 13 nations appeared, only I think 4 European sides because of the long traveling time to Uruguay at the time. Uruguay won the match. It goes to 1 against Argentina. Little known fact is that there were two different balls in first and second half of the final against Argentina. Argentina choose their ball in the first half, and Uruguay got their ball in the second half, and ended up with a 3-1 Uruguayan win. Because
Weird.
there was no rules about football size or anything at the time, so it was rather
You've had
fun.
because you've had one of the really, really small balls.
Yeah, there was what was it? I read that it was in diameter there was a 5 centimeter gap from the first half to the second half. There was no really restrictions at the time. It was really weird. So yeah, that was 1930, 1934. It was in Italy, and it was Italy who took it home, and there was a lot of controversial at the time because of politics, and as it always do at that time. Uh, there are still debates today about the referee being paid off to let Italy win. It's a weird one.
I
Um,
know, don't they?
what's your favorite World Cup moment, Samurai?
I think one of my favorite World Cup moments must have been the 2002 World Cup where South Korea shocked everybody across the world, beating top teams like Spain and Italy in the knockout rounds, and then eventually went off to lose against Turkey. I think it's one of the most memorable moments because for a team to be an underdog and to beat top teams like Spain and Italy in a World Cup stage where a lot of people across the world are watching it is a magnificent moment for the
Cool.
underdog teams across the world.
Like Cameroon in '90. What about you, BNN? What's your favorite favorite moment, World Cup moment?
I think it was the same World Cup again. And as an England fan, it really shouldn't be my favourite. But when Brazil knocked us out, I think it was the quarterfinals, I want to say.
Yeah, quarterfinals. Yeah.
Ronaldinho masterclass, and he lobbed David Seaman from about 40 yards out.
It was an amazing shot. It was amazing, amazing. I saw it. I actually saw it
From him.
today. Uh, that moment when the ball started dropping, you could watch the England players go, "Oh, son of a," because they could all see that Seaman was far out of his goal. But yeah,
I remember exactly where I was. I was in primary school, all watching it, and that's how much that goal stuck with me that I can picture exactly where I was sat then. Like, I just remember that goal was incredible. That was probably the year England probably had the best chance of winning it in terms of the players we had on offer as well. And Ronaldinho just single-handedly destroyed us.
yeah, he was a star player. I have to say, my favorite moment. I haven't seen it in person, but I have seen it so many times on YouTube. It's a Pele moment from 1970 when there's a ball going through the playing against Uruguay, and the ball was going through the defense, and Brazilian and Pele was running at the goalkeeper and just changed his direction in the last second, and the goalkeeper followed Pele instead of the ball, so the ball just rolled past. Pele got the ball. He missed the shot, but it's one of those moments that stuck with me. I was wee lad. Um, who are you rooting for in the coming World Cup? England, I guess. Am I
So
right?
yeah.
You never
Any,
know.
you never know.
It gets to the week before, and that's it now.
Well,
Our
well, they
year.
say, Pep Guardiola's been in Spain, and when Spain was in a major tournament, Spain won. When Pep Guardiola was a manager in Germany, and there was a major tournament, Germany was a part of it. Germany won the tournament, and now Pep Guardiola is manager of Man City, and it's in England. Could England maybe win the World Cup? They may have a chance.
I have a chance.
It's interesting because it's the first time where we've picked mainly on form and not just picking the star players. And they're very young.
So,
Although he's not a superstar manager, he kind of has a plan, and I think he will stick to that is the plan. It doesn't change, and it might just work in our favour.
what do you think about Kane elected as captain? Is he the right
Get
captain
it?
for the team?
Why? He just doesn't come across to me as a captain.
Not as the person who performs for the team, more likely just a goal
It's be a
scorer.
lead. Yeah, he's just a goal scorer. It's just you need like a leader. I can't see him bossing people about on the pitch, and this is that kind of person.
I got the exact same feeling. I am a Tottenham fan, but I was still a bit surprised about him being elected as captain because I see a lot of different other players who could be uh, who could be captain. Katie's bringing up something interesting. The team is quite young, but does it lack experience? In my personal view, yeah, it does lack experience. It does lack. They went through the qualifying group fairly easy, but England didn't have that many different teams to play against in that qualifying.
Does experience hinder you though? Like if we go
Ex-
in with, could we potentially just go in and shock people? And does actually having that experience then make us more cautious? If they just go in and out there and have fun, play football, will it actually end up being better? Like you like see Marcus Rashford's. If they've got experience, they'll start to maybe pass the ball a little bit more instead of trying one more dribble. But it might just be something like one more dribble that wins you the game.
It's true. Is he one of those that you think he could shine in Russia?
I hope
yes, I
so.
reckon Rashford and Jesse Lingard would be key players for England in the
Jesse
World Cup.
Lingard is key. I am.
Jesse Lingard, Rashford, Welbeck. I know you talk about Kane and Vardy, good strikers, but I think Welbeck, he adds that greatness, to the team when playing internationally. I think if you look at Lingard, Rashford, Welbeck, and Henderson, I think they'll be key players for the World Cup. It doesn't matter if you've got an experienced team or not in the World Cup. Like I say, you can go back to 2010 or 2014 World Cup where Costa Rica shocked the world and they progressed so far. Or you can look in the Euro 2016 where Iceland weren't known by a lot of people. They shocked most of the world in football, and they didn't have some star top players like top international teams do. So sometimes being an underdog and bringing a bit of inexperienced players to the international level can prove effective. But I guess we'll just have to wait until when the World Cup starts.
Got players that can score from nothing as well. We saw Rashford's goal the other day.
Oh yes.
Jesse Lingard's been smashing them in from outside the box all year. You got your Dele Allis, you got your Vardis, and then Kane just. I don't know how he's a good striker. He does his job, doesn't he? He scores goals, but he doesn't do anything exciting. We've got. There's just lots of players around there that just can score from absolutely nothing, and that is brilliant. Where maybe we can be 1-0 down and just one of them gets the ball as a shock, and that's it. It's in. That's how quickly we can score.
So basically, the first match against Tunisia on Monday. It's gonna be. It's gonna show some stuff actually. Katie's asking, will Jack Wilshere be missed? No, for me, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so myself.
I mean,
He's a good player and all, but depends if he'll feature in the squad.
Should John Joe Shelby have gone?
should John Joe Shelby have gone? That is not for. I have to be honest. I don't know about that. Um, but Jack Wilshere, I don't know. He will not be
I
missed.
don't think he played enough throughout the season personally, to get a place in the World Cup. It's like a lot of teams who've gone the World Cup, and a lot of the players, there's some big shocks in big nations, and like I say, it's hard to choose players to go into a World Cup squad. Like, you have to choose exact 23 players out of, say, thousands and thousands of potential players. So it is very difficult for a manager to choose players, but I don't think he'd be missed that much, personal opinion.
Hey, Dele Alli and Jesse Lingard aren't going to play at the same time. Kind of player, like he'd be third in demand essentially.
But who would you prefer, Dele Alli or Lingard?
He's from Warrington, so I'm going to say Jesse Lingard.
Well, oh well.
I don't know. I just don't like Dele Alli, but he is a good player. But they are. I can't split them up. They kind of do the same clubs.
I figured out that Dele Alli is a Fortnite player, so I don't like him.
But you're a Spurs fan.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Is there any other teams that you're gonna say, oh, those I'm gonna watch at the World Cup? I mean, I have a personal favorite of. There's 3 teams I always watch when it comes to World Cup, and it's Brazil, it's England, and it's Denmark. But I got a little thing for Iceland this time that I want to see their matches, just because of the Euro.
Nice.
To an extent, they've got superstars. I don't think they're gonna get anywhere close to the final. You Spain. So I'm gonna watch most games if I can. I'm gonna have a little. Well, help me work out watching. I'm gonna have a little window and watch it in work.
I'll be looking forward to seeing Peru play Mexico. I always like to watch South Korea play all the time, ever since the 2002 World Cup. And I'll probably try myself to watch as many of the World Cup games as I can, depending on my work schedule.
I'm gonna watch them in work, and then as soon as I finish work, straight to the pub to watch the rest. That's my plan.
That's a good plan. That's a very good plan.
Indeed.
Biased bastard. Well, of course I am biased. I'm Danish. Let me move on a bit. After the war, 1950 in Brazil, Brazilians have a bad history about the World Cup at home. Apparently, I mean Germany 7-1, and 1950 lost 2-1. Everybody says it's the final, but it wasn't. It was a group stage of 3 teams where it just happened that the last match decided the World Cup, and Uruguay won that 2-1. There was a little thing in 1958, a little guy, just 17 years old. Pele came on the world stage and took the world by storm, just to be precise, in Sweden. And then we move on to 62 in Chile, where Battle of Santiago, where football's ugly face came out, where there were actual against Chile against Italy, where two Italian journalists have wrote a article home to Italy about bantering the Chilean team and Chilean people in public, and it came out on the pitch where they were actual fist fights, and police came on the pitch, and it was the army, I believe, too, came on the pitch. It was yeah, horrendous. And then there was a
They
little
basically had full stars on GTA essentially.
yeah, it was FIFA versus GTA actually. And then there was something 66 where we're not going to talk about. Then we move on. No, I mean England 66 won the final 4-2 against Germany. A great match, and I've actually managed to find the full match, and it was a great match. It was a great match on YouTube. And then the 70, where my favorite team, football team of all time, Brazil, came on. Uh, I mean, Rivellino, Pelé, Tostão, Jairzinho, Gerson, Carlos Alberto, all the great players from the 70s were on one team, and I was fully amazed. It was as you can hear, football World Cup is my high passion. I love all the stories, all the anecdotes, all the weird facts about the World Cup. All the way back from 1930, France had a one-armed player. That's a little unknown fact. In 1930, it was, and I love those stories that the World Cups create. The weird ones, like you said, South Korea 2002 and Cameroon 1990, and Roger Miller is a whole chapter in the World Cup history. Uh, what do you think people? I know that they haven't started yet, but what do you guys think that people are gonna talk about after these World Cup in Russia? Do you think about that it's gonna be that? Well, there's not gonna be any surprises. Germany, Brazil in the final, or is there something spectacular going on?
I think it's Brazil's to lose. I think it's going to be the World Cup of Neymar, and he's going to go on to win the Ballon d'Or because of it. Personally,
I think there's going to be a few shocking results from the big teams to the minnow teams. I see like teams like, say, Iceland, Serbia, Peru advancing, to last 16, and then maybe knocking out some top of the top stages out of it. It's anyone's game, really. If the players want to perform, play with a passion and with a heart, and play the best game they can in the World Cup, they can win any game.
Yeah, that's
So I
true.
think
it's essentially every game's a final, isn't it? You've seen that Leicester won the bloody Premier League, so
Yeah,
38 game season. Like you've only got to
yeah,
win
that's
about
right.
you've only
well,
got to win about 7 games to win. So you just go into every game like Leicester did,
yeah,
as
and
one
and
big
and, and
complete unit. You don't know what can happen.
that's the fun part of it, because Schmeichel said in a Danish newspaper today, Kasper Schmeichel came out and say in the Danish newspaper today that Denmark could win the World Cup. I know that it's a far fetch, but I mean, could it be such a team? Could it be Denmark, a Belgium, a Sweden
Yeah.
who does not have the superstars like Spain, Germany, Brazil? I mean, I think this is the team where this is the year where the smaller teams are gonna blossom. I hope, of course, Denmark, of course. I don't think it's gonna happen because Denmark have a history of when we've done with the group stage and moved on, they kind of slack through it. But fingers crossed this time.
But
Um,
your South American teams always perform, no matter who they are, as well.
yeah, that's true. That's
Just the type of football they play, they kind of outplay all the European teams in the way that they play, how direct they are at attacking, how fast they are usually, how quick they play the ball. And personally, England can't play against South Americans. Never have been able to.
Well, you can see 1998. It wasn't actually England's fault that they lost. I was largely blaming it on Beckham, but yeah, it's true. I mean, Brazil, Argentina, they've always lost against those two teams. it's kind of funny actually. But like you said earlier, the home side have won 5 times, and South Africa was the first time ever that the host nation went out before the knockout matches.
I remember the
Russia,
first. They scored an absolute screamer, didn't they? The first match.
South
I
Africa, yeah. To Shalabala, wasn't it? From outside
Yeah,
the top of the corner, he smashes it in. Hell of a goal, that.
it was a good goal.
Remember that goal. Celebrating. Damn.
South Africa World Cups was the waving flag and the waka waka, as far as I'm concerned.
that ridiculous horn, waka waka.
Bangers.
We're gonna do a little short thing here because chat. Have any of you guys played sweepstakes, and which teams did you pick or get picked? Have you guys played sweepstakes, Samu and BNN?
In one at
Say
the
that
minute.
again, sorry.
Sweepstakes. I believe that's a thing
Um,
in the.
Yeah.
Have you guys
I
played
don't
it
think
or?
I've not played one of it yet.
Currently, I remember I've got a story about one. I remember I was going into my my GCSE exams. Would have been a World Cup. And my mates came. I was in the queue waiting, and my mates went, "Oh, we've got a sweepstake, and it's £2 a go." I'm all right. And they went, "Well, Spain and Brazil haven't come up yet." I went, "Oh, go on then." So I put £4 in and got Spain and Brazil.
Don't worry. Wow. Damn.
Yeah, and I'm sure one of them got. I think Spain got knocked out at the group stages, or the other way around. Someone got knocked out, and I was like, "Oh no, it's the Euros," and I got Spain and Italy got knocked out in the group stages, and I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" And then Spain went on to win it, and I got all the money from them all.
Nice.
Damn. Damn.
I remember I screamed. Right, I obviously opened up the folded up piece of paper. I'm in the queue to go into the exam hall, and I went, "Yes!" I got an absolute roasting. I was like, "I don't care."
So how
Don't.
much money did you win in the end on that sweepstake?
Only about 40 quid, but I was in year 11, so that was like millions.
It was, wasn't it? I bet.
Holy shit, that's for an 11-year-old. That is millions.
My workplace haven't got it sorted at the minute. I might have to go sort it this week.
I
One, but
remember.
there's too many of us. There's too many of us. It's too complicated.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it'd be hard to do prizes then as well, wouldn't it? Because there's only 32 teams as well. So
Do a pool and do 30. You'd have to be done through PayPal. And if enough people didn't enter, then you can't do it.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you'd need at least 32 people to enter it anyway, wouldn't you?
If 32 people don't enter, you don't play essentially.
True.
True. True.
Got England, which is unfortunate for her. That was a waste. I hope you ripped that piece of paper up as soon as you got it.
that was no, yeah.
This year, though, this year's our year.
Could be.
Yeah,
You never know. You never
well,
know.
32 teams. I like the ones that saying, "Well, I'm going out there to win the World Cup," instead of those teams that says, "I'm going out there to maybe get a draw," then don't show up.
Manager.
BNN sweepstake, that would be fun. Fun.
Get enough if I get enough interest, I'll do it.
You heard that? Let's get some interest out. I'm gonna put my money on Italy. No, wait.
Italy's not in the World Cup.
Okay then, Holland. Ah, damn.
They're not in it either, are they? Oh, damn.
We're already doing better than those countries. As far as I'm concerned, this World Cup is already a success.
That's true.
That's
That's true. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a difficult question now because it's impossible to answer. If there's one that you're gonna say he's there, we always have the World Cup these diamonds in the rough, these players that you never heard of before the World Cup, like what's his name, Jamie, a Colombian 4 years ago, and Mexican goalkeeper
Rodriguez.
Ochoa and everything. Is there? Do you think there's a player on the English team that's gonna go through and be that shining star, that diamond in the rough? Rashford maybe, or
Jesse Lingard
Jesse
Jesse
Lingard?
Lingard, yeah. Jesse Lingard is
or Rashford.
I don't think it's I'm but I don't think it's Rashford's time. I think Lingard has had an absolute incredible season, and I think if he gets the chance, I think he will take it by storm.
Who?
Just got a feeling about him. I'm glad someone else said him as well.
Um, I gotta say, like, me personally, because I've known him for many, not known him, but I've followed him for many years. Pione Sisto from Denmark. He's a attacking left winger. Um, I think he's gonna be one to watch from Denmark. Of course, Christian Eriksen, but one of those players that you haven't heard of that much is gonna be Pione Sisto. I believe in him. I believe in him. There was a training match yesterday against Mexico. He played not good to say the least, but I believe in him this time. He's gonna do good. KD, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think we had this discussion before in BNN. Why he's on the team, I have no idea. He had a good season for Liverpool, but yeah, I no, I don't know why he's on.
Played good. Played very well in the Champions League final. Um, you know, I think he could play well. Like I say, you could be any player in the World Cup and you can just perform to your best. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trippier was very good the other day. He impressed me.
Well, at least he wasn't the worst player on the Liverpool side in that Champions League final.
Oh yeah, Carriers.
Um,
Danny Rose, maybe. Like, I like our wing back. We've got very good. Like, you got your Kyle Walkers and everything. We've got good wing backs at the minute.
Al Walker. Yeah. How old is she now?
24, I think, isn't he?
Yeah,
25.
24, 25. He's good for another one, maybe two World Cup.
Trippier was very good the other day when he came on. There's quite a few because it's a young team and it's not got your superstars like your Gerrard, your Lampard, your Rooney's. Anyone pick
Well, maybe because there isn't such
a
a
team now. They're more
yeah.
of a team because they're not a super. There's not like a superstar at the top. Like they're saying Harry Kane is a superstar, but Harry Kane isn't this superstar that goes around being all flash, is he?
No, I mean, there isn't how do you put it? There isn't like a hierarchy. It's like they're a very young team, but they still are, as you say, a team. They're not stars and bottle carriers.
Like when you see previous years, you might have seen like you'll have all your United players all in a bunch. You'd have your Liverpool players, Chelsea players, and now you see like Sterling hanging out with Jesse Lingard and Rashford, and like that is something that never used to happen. Like Rio Ferdinand said it himself that when he was on England duty, he never spoke to any of like the other team's players. And then when he got back, Alex Ferguson used to ask him like if he'd said anything or they'd given anything away that they could use as like for tactics and stuff. And now it seems to be more like we're on England duty. It doesn't matter about the clubs anymore.
Yeah, my camera's gone. It was on batteries, so needed to change the battery. Sorry. Um, where was I? Oh yeah, I came to 1970. Total football was invented almost in 1974 by Holland. A lot of people was talking about it, and a lot of people was yeah, they were impressed. Fortunately, the Holland didn't get to win 1978, of course. Of course, I mean that was not intentional, but 1978 Argentina, again a very political World Cup. Um, there's still talk about Peru that needed to lose 4 goals to Argentina to move on to the final, and they won 6 goals to 0. And Peru's goalkeeper's parents were actually Argentinian, so we'll talk about that. 1982 was the first World Cup that I saw. I was 5 years old. and I was impressed by Italy at the time. But that's the thing that stand out for me for most. 1982 is the semi-final, France was Germany, where the French, the German goalkeeper knocked French attacker to the ground with something that in the real life would be sentenced to 5 or 6 years in prison. I can't remember the the attacker's name right now. And the goalkeeper didn't even get there wasn't even a free kick. It was disgusting, but yeah, watch it. In 1986, the World Cup that I always thought that with my own eyes I've seen as one of my favorite World Cups in Mexico. Not only because Denmark beat Uruguay 6 goals to 1, but also the goals there were amazing, and it was on the other side of the world, and everything was new, and technology was new, and for the viewer and everything, it was awesome. Um, and there was this English guy, Gary Lineker. Uh,
I've heard of him.
never, never heard of him. He was doing amazing at that time. 6 goals at World Cup goal scorer.
Up on the field, or is that later on?
What? Come again?
Field during one of the games. I can't remember if it was at the World Cup or not.
I don't remember.
1990. He was sick and he shat on the field. Yeah, he took a dump on the.
You go. I
Yeah,
knew I wasn't making it up.
it was in the. Can't remember. It was the last group match of 1990. Or it was in the second round. But he had a stomach flu, and he played, and he got fouled, and when he sat down, like he said himself, he shot himself. It was disgusting, but it was fun for the viewer. Fun for it was. I mean, what are you gonna do? Millions of people are watching on TV, and you just look down and you go, "Damn!" And one of the other players came over to
I
him
mean, whenever he does anything on Match of the Day to annoy a set of fans, he go on his Twitter and all the replies, and it's just people sending pictures of him.
Yeah. Well, it is a famous picture that he looks down and you can see it on his face going, "What am I gonna do now?" But it, him and Toto Schillaci was only two things that I remember from Italy '90. A boring World Cup, not many goals. I think I'm not sure, but yeah. And then 1994 USA. Uh, what was her name? There was a singer going on the field to the opening ceremony, and she had to Diana Ross. While she had to sing, and then she run down the pitch, and she had to kick a ball inside a goal that's normal sized, but she has to do it from 4, maybe 5 meters, and she missed. The point was that the ball was to go in, and the goal exploded, and everything just cheered on. But she shot past the goal, and the goal exploded. And then she special effects at the highest level in 1990. It's really ridiculous. Um, that's the. Oh yeah, and then Brazil giving a Brazilian, I can't remember his name, elbow to the face to an American player. Round. In 1998, France.
What's the '94 World Cup? Sorry, the one with what was his name? Escobar or whatever from Colombia. He
Yeah,
got killed.
it was 1994. He scored an own goal that made team not progress to the second round. He got shot.
All the Colombian gangsters had bets on them
Oh,
to get
no
through,
way.
Yeah,
and they got back and they killed him. Yeah.
yeah. The bar only 2 days after he came home. It was disgusting, really. Yeah, but it was 1994 too. In 1998, France, where there was this mysterious thing with Ronaldo for the finals. At first he was on the team sheet, then he was off the team sheet, then on the team again, and turns out that he had I don't know, there was some rumors about him having a seizure just hours before the match, before the final, when he wasn't himself actually, and France went on to win it 3-0. And then 2002, South Korea, Japan won, where where the one of the Korean strikers, I can't remember his name now. What was it? Something?
Hwang Sun Hong.
Yeah, who scored a goal
I
against
won nothing.
who
He
scored a
scored a
goal?
goal against Italy, didn't he?
Yeah, and then got fired from his team in Italy because he scored
That's
against Italy.
insane. That.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, to be passionate about football, yes, that's one thing. But firing your players because you kicked your national team out, that's. Well, Chinaman writes Franco Baresi from Italy crying after losing at final. That was 1994. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. But those are most of the pictures. I mean, from the knockout stages. There's always some players who say, "Oh, this is my last game." Um, of course, I don't mind. They're signing out on the highest level. They're stopping at the highest level. Michael Laudrup did it in 1998. What was his name? That German keeper. Oliver Kahn did it in 2000 or 2006. I can't remember. Um, is there anybody from the England side that already have said now that this is their last? I mean, there's just this young squad, but
I don't think there's anyone that would even consider retiring it in the current squad.
No,
I don't
none
think
at
they
all.
don't
there's
I
have
can think
any
of.
of the
pick like your Joe Hart. Like he should just retire from football, full stop. But
He's awful now, isn't he?
yeah. I'm just checking up something.
he used to be considered alongside De Gea for who was better.
There's this Danish. Yes, not said it outright, but there's this Danish player called William Quist who has indirectly said that his last match is going to be at this World Cup, and he is not well liked at the Danish public in general. So they just went, okay, cool, bye bye. It was rather mean. Audience can't get that. Some Cahill is the oldest player. Let me just show you something here. You can see the stream of these 8 groups. You don't look at Group G. You don't look at Group G. Is there any other groups that you sense of the drama? Every World Cup has its group of death, where every of the 4 teams can move on to the second stage. Do you see any of these 8 teams, any of groups being marked as group of death?
Maybe D.
Yeah, I'd say the Argentina group.
Yeah.
There's some tough teams there, I would say, personally.
Argentina,
The only real one.
yeah, Argentina should progress without any problems, but
Also, I'd say Group F as well, maybe, you know.
Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and
What about Group
Yeah,
A.
Group A too, yeah. Russia, Egypt, and Uruguay, yeah.
My
A?
world,
Very good teams, but
Group A, that would be Russia by without. I mean, Saudi Arabia is pointing out that one of the weakest sides of all time.
Egypt though with Salah.
Yeah, but
Egypt can make a shock, though, you know. They've got some few decent good players. I know Salah's injured at the moment, but they've got some decent players there on the. They'd probably bring us back as players, you know. Be nice to see Egypt go through, knock them out.
Hey,
So it'd be nice to see Egypt go through, knock Russia out of the group stages.
I would like to see Uruguay go out without going.
Can you imagine though if Russia get knocked out of the group stages? Oh my god,
There's
That
going to be some big.
it's gonna be chaos.
That would be.
Oh
I'm sorry
yes.
to say, that would be fun.
Well, for England fans, it was also against Russia last time.
It? Oh
When
yeah.
yeah, was it the Euros where
Yeah.
the Russians were fighting the British? But it's not like us to go away and kick off, is it?
It's gonna be a weird World Cup. That's for sure on the
They
standings.
said if there's any racist comments within the stadium, they can abandon the matches there and then.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? How does that work? Do they then just replay them?
According to what I've been reading, no. Yeah, no. They are gonna. What's gonna happen is they're gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but they have the authority to make the public leave the stands, and then
Then they
then play
carry
the
on.
match.
And both a draw. That they both don't qualify because of the fans.
It's just stupid. But
He's made a good point. If Russia don't get through, Putin might call off the tournament.
oh yeah. Oh, oh my God, that would be well. That was to make Russia excluded from FIFA for lifetime. That's for sure. Is Riyad Mahrez Egyptian? Oh, that's I don't know. Is he?
Algerian.
He's Algerian. Okay. Uh, Katie says, "Did you see what Zlatan Ibrahimovic said? He said the World Cup this year won't be the same without him." I
It
have one
won't
thing
be.
to say to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So, I mean, Bentner, Niklas
It's
Bentner
not
is
going to
not
be.
there, so it's not going to be the same
It's
without
not going
him
to be
either.
different, is it? Because they won't. They're not going to make it to the final. They
No,
the whole World Cup. Like he might score a few goals, but
I mean I once liked Zlatan because he was arrogant in the funny way. Now he's just being annoying as hell.
yeah, I've got that feeling at the minute. Like you're in America now. Like as far as you're concerned, your career's gone. You're in
Yeah,
America, so
you got no more. You got nothing left to say. You're in MLS now, so
yeah, your opinion's invalid.
playing it behind closed doors. Yes, that's the general idea that they're gonna get the audience out of the stadium. So yeah, that's gonna be great. Make them fight in the street instead.
Fair though, that does it? Because it could just be like if you've got two nations playing against one another, then you've got obviously the Russians will be there as well because it's their World Cup, and if it's the Russians causing all the controversy, why should the other fans miss out on watching the game that they paid for?
True, true, true. That's
But
so
like you
true.
say, you can't just kick certain people out. So
No, it was
none of it
be,
will happen.
but it's gonna be exciting to see how they're gonna pull through with that rule. I don't know. It's gonna be.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't see how they can to
um,
do, but
I don't think they can. I think they're making they call it idle threats, but and if they're gonna go through with it, it's gonna be very awkward for Russia also because like they did in the Winter Olympics in Sochi. Everything was being tight. Also, like I heard it, all the security was being tightened very hard because the Russian government didn't want the Russians to make any trouble. So maybe it's going to be the same here. That's they're going to tighten the
hopefully
security not on behalf of the spectators who's coming in, but more of the Russian spectators themselves.
it's
Um,
gonna be like I say, it's gonna be like Katie's just said, it's gonna be a bit hard for England as well with everything that's gone on with Russia at the minute.
yes, definitely, definitely.
Hope none of the games do get abandoned because it's just one of them. A team might miss out on qualifying to the next round because someone called them a nasty name.
It's going to be
Well, I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm quite confident there's going to be some controversy around.
of course it is. Of course there is. There is no doubt about it. But going back to my initial questions, if there are any of these groups that's going to be exciting, what Chineman says, Group C for me, 3 out of 4 very strong teams with surprise Peru. I think that's going to be 3 strong teams, yes, and with with a surprise Australia.
Really?
Uh, I saw a match where they lost to Norway 4 goals to 1. They didn't even play bad. They made playing bad seem good. I don't know if it was. I know it's just a training match and they were trying out different stuff, but it was ridiculous. The
I
Australian
don't
team.
think as good as people think they are either. Sort of saying that they'll go all the way, but they're a bit like Belgium for me. They're a load of individuals. I don't see them as
As
they're there for the taking.
you don't see them as potentials.
I don't see Australia progressing through the group myself.
No.
There are some good players, like the veteran Tim Cahill and the youngster Tim Roderick and that, could do something, but I just don't see him beating France, Peru, or Denmark. Personal opinion.
No way. No way. Not in a million years. I don't believe it. It's gonna be Peru and Denmark who's gonna play out for that second spot. Um, France is gonna
Yeah.
take.
I think, Peru and Denmark could potentially top those groups, first and second. By the way, France have been performing lately. I watched the game against USA, had a strong squad out against a really weak USA team, and they were playing really bad. They seem to be all over. It's the same with France. I think they've got some players who are individual players and just don't like playing as a team sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
And that's
the
what costs the big teams in the World Cup is individual players think they're it, think, oh, I'll score these goals. And, I'm not passing. It was like I was watching the game. I was like, shocking with France. I just want some of the players were just trying to be greedy and go for glory themselves.
and that is never a good thing. But
Spain have gone. No one's hyping up about the Spain. Players aren't as good as what they were a few years ago, but
they're too old.
they're a strong team unit though, and they've got the best goalkeeper in the world. So
True, but they have relied on that team for what is it, 8 years now? I mean, the age will catch up. Um, they don't. I don't. Yeah, I see them progress to the second round, but they're not gonna go that far into the knockout stages before the.
they'll top the group then, or do you reckon Portugal?
They're gonna beat Portugal. When you when you
The
when you
Euros.
when,
Portugal are awful.
when you look at
I
down,
reckon Portugal could have a chance to win it myself. They can
you
go
think?
far.
I mean,
Yeah, because like I was saying about England before, about how Pep Guardiola's been in Spain, Germany, and the major tournaments. Spain and Germany have won it. Now he's in England. England could potentially go to the final. And it's like with Portugal, they, did well in the Euro 2016, won that. And I know they won the Eurovision Song Contest in 2017, but I know that's got nothing to do with the World Cup. But then, they could potentially win it this year. I know Portugal have got a few veteran players who won't be able to play in the next World Cup, so it'll be their last chance to try and do something as well. Personal opinion. Yeah, some of the players like Ronaldo, stuff like that, and a few of the other players are starting to get old now, so I think they may have a chance.
maybe. I just looked down on the Portuguese team sheet, and I'm like, there is Cristiano Ronaldo, but and there is a few others, but there isn't a squad that looks out to be the big thing.
No.
But
Euros is beyond me.
well, as they say, the ball is round. So um, the team, like I said, a few teams that I'm looking forward to watch: Belgium, Iceland, England, Brazil. But I also have I watched, like I said, there was a Danish side, there was a Danish national team played against Mexico yesterday, and I kind of like the way the Mexicans played. They didn't. What they did was when they had the ball in the defense, they quickly got it up in the midfield and then played around in the midfield for 20, 30, 40 seconds, and then find one player who tries to dribble through while the others find space. I like that play style. They didn't work against Denmark. They didn't score a goal, but they got a lot of chances because they waited for the opposition to make a mistake to create a hole, and then use that hole. And they used it well. Just unfortunate a few times, but it's gonna be exciting to watch Mexico. Have I figured out yesterday? That's the team that I want to watch too.
D. Everyone in Group D. Cracking
Yes,
group.
yes. What do you think?
Definitely, I'll be a good group to watch.
Uh, I just found out that Nigeria is the team whose shirt have sold most across the world.
2 minutes in the UK.
What?
2 minutes in the UK.
2 minutes in the UK. What is it about that shirt? Is it pretty?
It's
Or is
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
very unique. It's pretty good.
It's unique. That's a good thing. Just gonna get my paper out again. Well, you see, now here I have a problem because I only have 2 questions left. Um, um, you say Neymar will gonna be winner of Ballon d'Or or the Golden Boot.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Who you think is gonna be there? I'm saying Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku.
Oh, I think Jamie Vardy, if he starts his games, he could do it. You know, he came from a small club, came into Leicester, won the league that 1 year, didn't they? I think maybe it's his story in his life to go win the World Cup with England from just being a little player. Could be him.
Would be
With
cool.
Kane. There's Jamie Vardy.
Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Timo Werner, or whatever his name is.
Timo Werner. Oh, German. He's a
Oh,
good player.
yeah. He's good. He's good.
I reckon.
He could be the rough, even though he's already being linked to loads of clubs.
It's
Have
funny.
a cracking World Cup.
None of you are saying Messi. None of you are saying Cristiano Ronaldo.
Messi's crap in Argentina's team, and Ronaldo will score a few, but Portugal, it's Neymar's World Cup.
It's Neymar's
They'll,
World Cup.
it's
I'm looking.
basically you saying the final is Brazil against, and then you're picking whoever. It's Brazil against either Germany, Belgium,
Argentina.
Spain, Argentina, France,
Yeah,
Brazil.
Belgium. Belgium can get through. I reckon Kevin De Bruyne. He could do good for Belgium.
He could
Or
do very
Hazard.
good for Belgium.
Yeah, I think one of them two could actually shine.
On paper are either Brazil or Belgium, but I just don't. Belgium just don't seem to click.
Not all the time. No, they don't. No.
I don't think Lukaku's the right striker for them either. They need like another Hazard type of player. Like they've got Lukaku. I know he's fast, but he's quite big and burly.
I think
Belgium are quite small. They're quite rapid. Stuff. Just maybe if they had someone that wasn't Lukaku. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Lukaku. He's cracking. Like Fellaini's just horrible.
yeah, he is. Katie says Griezmann.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good. Or not, because like you said, France is full of individuals who want to greed, who wants to take it all in by themselves. So I don't think Griezmann is gonna be a top goal scorer.
Burr and Griezmann do link up very well, though.
They do.
Griezmann is a good player.
They do.
Pogba
He
does seem
is.
to
He
unlock
is.
Griezmann.
But I think he's better on the club side than he's on the national squad. But I don't know. One question left.
Okay.
Samurai, who's gonna win the World Cup?
If I had to choose a team,
Yeah.
Portugal or Belgium.
Portugal or Belgium? BNN? Who's gonna win the World Cup?
Still.
Come again?
On.
I think, did he fall out or is it my
Oh.
I can't hear him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hello.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
no.
are. There you are. Just my headset that went boom. Apparently.
Oh god.
Yeah.
To all the chat then constantly. We're in Brazil, Brazil, Brazil.
Yeah.
Katie saying Panama, calling it now. Yeah, Katie, don't do drugs and type. Me, I'm gonna say Brazil, or I'm gonna say Germany, and I'm just saying Germany because if I don't say Germany, the miss is gonna beat me up. Yeah, I'm saying Brazil. I can't see anyone else. Sorry. And Katie, I'm gonna make a bet with you on that Panama one, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, and that was actually it. But we had a few more things. We have a few more things. First of all, this last week came the very first BNN Esports Championship, and it was in Rocket League. And it was a. If I can do this right.
Pressure. The boss is watching.
Yeah, I know. You just wait. Okay, I will just wait and watch. This one. I think it is. I'm just gonna show you a video here of the final goal shot at the BNN Esports Rocket League, and it was the winning goal, and it was scored by team hashtag no link dumping.
I will ask you to stay in your seats for a second because we do have a surprise here, okay? After this finals finish, we have a surprise here, folks. This tournament is not over yet.
Franchise
they
did
were
We're gonna.
very, very
What
good
happens?
job.
We're gonna chat to Team Filthy, get their
it's
words on how
amazing,
they
actually.
felt the final went, and if they. Oh, stop that! Scott was just. I did not want Kairoke to be a leading goal scorer in
Super
any
Scott
game.
scored the goal. Scored the final goal.
But I hang around.
And yeah, that was it. And it was an awesome tournament. And I've been as far as I can tell, the next one tournament, UFC Esports tournament is coming up is Overwatch, but I'm not sure about that. Franchise, don't hold me up on that. It is okay. Then he was right. Then both he and I was right. So
it's Franchise's big baby. That's
yes,
the
it
one
is.
That's the one he wants to get absolutely perfect.
Yes, and you can almost now just give me the trophy. Come on, just hand it over. Or not.
That's fighting talk.
What?
That's confidence.
It is. I mean, I surprised everybody by actually getting a win last time, so why not this time? And we have a featured streamer. This week's featured streamer are Pork Chop. Yes, girl, you have won the featured streamer of the week. And everybody, hop on over there and check her out. She's actually quite funny. She has a beautiful voice. I've said it, and I'm standing by it. And she plays a lot of fun games. Pork Chop. And a great name, though. Pork Chop. I don't know why. Like it. But
Forgot to send you over a lot of new stuff.
What?
I forgot to send you over quite a lot of the new stuff.
Yes, you did.
So there's, the getting to know things we did for the streamers on the website. That, and it's going back out this week, and it's going to be more generalized for everybody. So it's more about what your favorite movie is, what your favorite TV show is, and why. A chance to plug yourself. So anyone that's submitted one before gets to refresh and do it again. And it's a lot, like I say, it's a lot more generalized. It's not just for streamers. There's one. What was the other news I had for you all?
But meanwhile you find that, Samurai, when you're streaming next, and what are you streaming?
I'll probably be streaming in the next 2 weeks, and I'll most likely be streaming Fortnite or Overwatch.
Fortnite or Overwatch.
I'm practicing.
he's having some practicing
Oh,
for
yes.
the. Oh,
Oh, definitely.
That we have got the Total Biscuit charity stream coming up.
yes.
It doesn't have a date yet. We are hoping that it's now no longer going to be a 24-hour stream, but it's going to be a weekend stream. Like, try
Yes.
as get as many prizes and companies on board to help us do raffles and stuff. The target of £500 again, even though Game Blast we completely smashed it.
We did. We smashed it. That's a word. Yeah, we obliterated that £500 one, but.
£4,000, yeah.
So let's do that again. Let's beat the record this time.
We're hoping that we can maybe get around that time and we can have a special Geekend. There's maybe a face reveal if we raise a certain amount of money.
You heard it here first. Someone clip it so we can.
I said this to Lola Sunnybutter before. I hate the concept. Like, I wouldn't even pay a quid to see my own face, but screw it, it's for charity.
Of course it is. Yes. So do something extra for charity. I'm not gonna make any promises this time because last time I made a promise, I actually had to hold myself up to it, and I was playing Fear on stream, and I did it for roughly 3 hours, and then I have to stop doing it, and I've uninstalled the game. So no promises from me this time.
Wants to get involved in the charity streaming, or even if you don't want to stream it, you just want to help organize it or fundraise or whatever, free to get in touch with either myself or Lola Sunnybutter or I'm gonna absolutely murder his name. One Chinny Men. I don't know.
What Chiniman?
Any of them. And they will, even if you don't want to stream or if you want to fundraise at your workplace or whatever, then feel free. Open for everyone. And also, that's what I was going to say. We've got dress for the Geekend. Like, we want to showcase as many things as possible on here. So if you've gone to a game convention and you've took a picture with a certain somebody or team members or anything, then you can send them to the geekendofficial@gmail.com to get more of that featured on the Geekend. We want like video clips, we want just stuff that the community has been up to. We want to showcase the community to the whole world. So yeah, that I remembered.
It is. There it is. There it isn't.
Oh, it got deleted.
Oh
What
yeah.
was it?
It was the email link, so people could. But it's also in the BNN, so why didn't I even put it up there?
Yeah, I have also opened up a tab in the Discord called Submissions in the Geekend section. That's on, and that is now being manned, so we will be looking at them when we're planning the shows and stuff, so we can incorporate as much about the team as possible.
Yeah, and don't forget the clip competition,
which I have forgotten about.
We are down to the final 10.
Yeah, it was meant to be announced. It was meant to be announced today. And I forgot.
Yeah. So what's yeah.
It'll go down. It'll go down to the final 4. It'll go on to Twitter. It's a Twitter poll, and then the winner will be announced next Sunday. We won't forget about it.
Not this time. Not this time.
One that's watching, it's all on you for not reminding us.
My fault.
No, mine.
But yeah, is that it for today's? I think it is. I don't have anything else on my paper. Nope. But thank you
Sure
guys.
to use sports talk if you want to talk about the World Cup with any of us. I'm sure people will be talking in there about the games.
Yes, in sports chat. And if we can get a somebody poke BNN on sports chat to get him to get a sweepstake going. Come on, you can do it.
Yes.
You can do it. And basically, remember it starts on Thursday nights with Russia against Saudi Arabia and ends on April 14th with the final Denmark against England. No? Okay. Just topping it out there. So raid. Who are we gonna raid?
Oh.
I forgot about the raid, but
One Chinny Man. Very active recently in the Discord. He's a very helpful member, and he's also helping to organise a charity event. So, if we're ready,
we're ready.
and I'm going to do it in the Discord as well.